Well, friends, welcome to another Daily Diary segment. I believe in transparency and accountability, and I love my work, and I like to celebrate it, and I like you to know what you're supporting when you support me. And of course, this is just my activities. We have a whole team working every day for the Unboard, but I want to let you know what I did from day to day. And today I want to cover Tuesday, the 2nd of September through Friday, the 5th of September, 2025. These were really busy days. Oh, they all are, as you know, if you listen to these diaries. But Tuesday the 2nd, I'm in my office. The staff is back after the Labor Day weekend. I start with some very early work, as I usually do, at my desk. I'll tell you what I dealt with in terms of topics that took my time and attention. Let me see if I taped some programs early in the morning. I like to do that early morning taping before breakfast. Then breakfast, and then I have our staff briefing. But some of the things I dealt with on email just during the course of the day in between the different meetings I'm going to tell you about are plans for upcoming trips, a visit to one of our congressmen friends in D.C., communication with Astrid, EWTN Spanish, broadcasting, scripture themes preparation, an op-ed for Catholic.org, collaboration with a leader who's putting together a Bible reading marathon in DC, wants me to be part of it. Communication with the March for Life, Jenny, the president of that. Communication with Human Life International, Father Bouquet. Monsignor Roger Landry, Pontifical Missions. Spanish translating, communicating with one of our translators and our staff person that coordinates that. The SBA Pro-Life America Gala, some communication about that. An op-ed for lifenews.com, high donor calls, and communication with a gentleman who's been doing historical research on the story of the March for Life. Silent No More, Zoom call, getting preparations for that for later that night. And the pastors' briefings of Wall Builders, a national group. I speak for their pastors' briefings at various times. So let's see. On the 2nd, I had after the staff briefing, of course, connected with various staff as usual, and the live scripture broadcast at 10 a.m. Let's see. At 10:30, I had a phone call with to a priest who's interested in some updates from me. I had meetings with our executive team, social media, resource department. Then at 11 o'clock, I had a Zoom call with our Washington, D.C. Staff person. 11:30, a meeting with one of our technology team members, had some lunch, and then met with our social media and video editing person in the early afternoon. At 3 o'clock, I did a taping of our Praying for America program there in the studio. At 4 o'clock, the administration and I had a phone call with the company that helps us do our prospecting and preparing for some mailings along those lines. And then into the late afternoon, started getting end-of-day updates from staff and checking in with different staff I needed to see. And after dinner, we had the RC call, that is Regional Coordinators for Silent No More all over the country. Hopped on that call. It lasted over an hour. And I did more planning, signing of cards, and other work to finish out the day. Wednesday the 3rd, kind of a similar day, heavy in office work, early morning taping, staff briefing, other individual meetings, 10 o'clock live scripture. Work at my desk included things like the revision of our Pro-Life Reflections for Everyday book. Just some minor revisions in the light, especially of the reversal of Roe v. Wade. You have to change those prayers. It's no longer asking to reverse Roe, but rejoicing that it has been reversed and praying for the strength to build on that victory. Communication with our EWTN Spanish broadcasters, work with staff in terms of what next has to be done for building maintenance, an ad for our late-term abortion project, working on the next newsletter for Priests for Life, flyers for pastors' conferences I'll be speaking at coming up, scheduling of events for next year, looking up the dates of pro-life conferences, the pro-life calendar being prepared, a Divine Mercy Conference I'll be speaking at in the fall, some communication about that, more communication about our prospecting, about a poll that we are are doing online, communication with the president of CareNet, approval of an email blast, meeting of the National Pro-Life Religious Council coming up. I'm the chairman of the board and president of that group, so we get ready for the agenda, and then also some communication with one of the U.S. bishops, retired bishop, who's and he and I are talking about the possible cause of canonization for Nellie Gray, the founder of the March for Life. We'll be talking with you more about that. I had let's see what this is. Yes, a taping at 12 noon with the whiteboard. I did a little instructive class for our endabortion.us program. Then a series of meetings just after that and before I had to leave for the airport. At 1:45, I indeed left for the airport. While on my way there, I spoke with our staff person from our resource department because he was the one driving me. We did some business on the way, and I had some other phone calls interspersed with that. Got to the airport, checked in, and then had a couple of phone calls I had to make, one with a high donor, another one with a priest. Boarded the plane and headed up to White Plains, New York, doing some work on the plane, writing an article and some other work on some of the topics I mentioned already. Landed in White Plains, New York, and went to the home where I grew up and stayed there overnight. Going to be visiting with my mom for a couple of days. Thursday the 4th, I began such a visit, but I had to stay in the house. That's where I'm talking to you from right now, by the way, if you're wondering about the background. At my mom's house here in Portchester. But I had to stay here in the house because it was the day that we had scheduled for our oil tank to be replaced. So I made sure that the workers could get in and got whatever they needed to get their work started. And then meanwhile, I was interacting with my office, morning briefing, and other work on my laptop, which was plentiful. I'm going to tell you about some of the things. I had various meetings with staff people, and then work on things like communication with George Barna, a prominent Christian researcher, setting up a meeting with a bishop in California, planning for the Florida March for the Preborn, preparing for spots, Spanish translations, podcaster, pro-life podcaster that wants me to collaborate with him more, updates for the website, updates for a LinkedIn account, working with various deacons and priests and group leaders around the country, communication with a Pennsylvania legislator, communication with Drew Mariani, Relevant Radio. Some of you listen to that. Bishop Aubrey Shines. We're doing a podcast together. My note from the pastoral director for the Silent No More campaign, communication regarding our interaction with Mother Teresa, whose feast day is the next day. Right Side Broadcasting Network, Give, Send, Go, a little fundraising platform for pro-life groups. Our essay contest, our communication with a key person of networking us with the members of Congress, communication with a key evangelical leader whose help we're asking for our prayer service in January, some work on op-eds, Liberty University, also communication with them, communication with Patricia Sandoval, who also does Spanish broadcasting for EWTN, approval of a parish fax, donor insert, let's see, more pro-life reflections for every day, updates, preparation for the March for Life, preparation for Wall Builders Pastors Conference, another action alert being approved, and that was just some of it. So I continued. We got the oil tank replaced. I still was here at home, though, during the course of the afternoon. I had a 1 p.m. Zoom call with some young leaders that are starting up a very, very ambitious pro-life healthcare project. They want my advice and guidance. So I spent about an hour on the phone with them, did more work, and then at 3 o'clock was on the phone with our website team, talking about some initiatives and projects moving forward. And then worked quietly in the afternoon as I continued to connect with staff and the workers here in the house finish their job. And then I just had some dinner and went out to, let's see, what did I do? Yeah, one of the local good restaurants here, and then had an evening phone call with some leaders in Florida, a Zoom call where we were continuing our planning for the Florida March for the Preborn, a statewide march to take place in January. Friday, the 5th of September, Mother Teresa's feast day. Again, I was here at home, did some early work, stayed here at the house while the people came to check the gas meter. And meanwhile, I was communicating with my staff, morning briefing, other communications with our executive director and so forth, emails on my computer having to do with Mother Teresa, with Spanish translations, with meeting with a bishop, radio, relevant radio, email blast approvals, preparation for the National Pro-Life Religious Council, for the Florida March, for the essay contest, for the January Walk for Life. Some pages on our website were dealing with healing after abortion, being updated by my staff, some communication with them about that, and about the broadcast schedule for the following week. Then I went over to the assisted living facility, saw my mom and my brother, visited with them for the rest of the day. And while doing that, I had to hop on the phone in the afternoon for a conversation with a radio broadcaster and pregnancy center leader out in California. She's going to have me on the radio pretty soon, so we talked about the program in advance. And also I had a conversation with my finance manager, finished visiting with my mom, came back home, and settled in for the evening. And that was it. So that's what I did from the 2nd of September through the 5th of September, 2025. Hope your work is going well. God bless you for what you do to support ours, and we'll talk to you soon.
The fight to save the unborn will continue long after the Lord calls us home to himself, and so will the work of Priests for Life. You can continue to support that work even then by planning to include Priests for Life in your wills, bequests, retirement accounts, insurance policies, and more. Make this mission part of your estate planning by asking our team of experts about your different options. Please call us at 321-500-1000 and tell us you are interested in supporting Priests for Life through your estate planning. Join our Priests for Life legacy family and let your love for the unborn continue long beyond your lifespan.